Cool. My name is Dr. Brian Conley. I'm a senior field specialist with the Quality Institute for Student Aspirations. Today we're going to take a quick look at your survey results from the 6 through 8 My Voice survey and the 3 through 5 My Voice survey. Aspirations is the ability to dream and set goals for the future while being inspired in the present to reach those dreams. Let's take a look at the 3-5 data. We'll do the same thing. Let's look at the demographics. It's about half and half with the males and females, and you can see, 25% of the kids who took this were third graders, 37 and 37 for both fourth and fifth grade. Keep in mind that we're working results is a process. It's not an event. That it's an ongoing conversation. It's with students and teachers to help change this data and make it better. And remember, these are perceptions. These are perceptions from students, which means it's what they're really experiencing in their school on a particular day or throughout the year. So let's take a look first at the demographic data. Is the male and female count accurate? Are there more boys than there are females at your school? And look at how many students plan on going to college. Wow, that's impressive. Now, when we're looking at the data, there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Does the data change between the grade levels? Does it increase or decrease between 6th and 7th grade? Do males or females experience these statements or school differently? So take a look at this first set of data, which is belonging. What data points jump out at you? Taking a look down there. Schools welcoming friendly is 75%. Teachers make an effort to get to know me is 68%. You're proud of your school is 56%. Valued member of your school community, 51%. Bullying is 36%. So what do you think of teachers caring and making an effort to get to know you? What about school pride? Generate some ideas and thoughts around this, and we'll discuss it a little bit later. Heroes. How can we, or what can we do to improve these numbers? Take a look there. Students respecting teachers, only 60% of you report that students in general respect their teachers. That's pretty low. That's only that's 6 out of 10 kids. So what about that other 40%? How are they showing or being disrespectful to their teachers? And again, look at the care. Teachers care about me as an individual. Teachers care if I'm absent. If I have a problem, there's a teacher I can connect with. So respect seems to be an issue. Is there a school-wide definition of respect at school? Teachers in their relationships with students, what can we do to improve that so kids feel, because if you ask teachers, they care about all their kids, but there's some disconnect between teachers showing and expressing that and you seeing and feeling that care. Sense of accomplishment. Let's take a quick look at that. How do you like to be recognized? What do you want to be recognized for? Do you think it would matter if your teachers let your parents know what you do well? How will that matter? How will that make a difference if teachers made an effort to call your parents or the parents of all the students at the school and shared 1 or 2 little snippets of what you do well? Would that change things? And why do you suppose nearly 1 in 5 of students do not put forth their best effort? That's 20% of the kids who are not putting forth their best effort. Why is that? Think about ways that we can recognize students beyond grades, beyond the athletics, and focus more on your citizenship, more on your effort, your perseverance. And finally, fun and excitement. Take a peek at this data. Only 60% of the students report that they enjoy being in school. That's not that's 10% over 50. So what do you think would make school more enjoyable? What are some of the things that you and teachers can do to make school more exciting? And how do you know when a teacher's having fun at school? What are the signs or what are the ways in which you know that teachers are having fun at your school? So we only went through the first 4 on the 6 to 8 survey because I think it's important we focus in on some things that, first of all, understand how to read this data, but then take some steps on those first 4. And then we can get into the other 4 conditions at another point. Let's take a look at the 3-5 data. We'll do the same thing. Let's look at the demographics. It's about half and half with the males and females. And you can see, 25% of the kids who took this were third graders, 37 and 37 for both fourth and fifth grade. Okay, so belonging. Why do you suppose a little over half the students feel important in class, or less? Just only half feel important. 50% report other kids are kind to them. What's up with that? Only 50% of the kids are kind to one another at school. And what's currently being done to address bullying at school? You notice there's a difference between the eighth grade data, or the sixth, seventh, and eighth grade data, and the 3 through 5 data. More kids at the younger grades think that bullying is a problem at school. What is being done to address bullying at your school? Are kids more aware of it? How do you explain this? Heroes. What are the numbers here that jump out at you? Take a quick look. Why do you suppose a little more than half share with a teacher when they are upset? Or why do you think that only 45% of the students respect teachers? Or how do we get more students to help one another? Think about those and take a peek. Is there a difference between the way schools experience between the grades? Do you see any marked differences? Like, for instance, if I'm upset, I can tell a teacher. In third grade, it's 74%, but then it dips to 45% and then over to 52%. I wonder why, over 2 years, 22% of the students don't feel they have somebody, an adult or a teacher that they can talk to. Sense of accomplishment. I'm a little confused by 77% reporting that they help each other, but in the heroes section, only 54% reported that they help each other. Well, let's go back to heroes. See that? Students help each other at my school, 54%. But then when we look at this, 77% they help each other. So something is missing here. So how do you explain that discrepancy in that data? And what about the work? My teacher hangs up my work in the classroom or the hallway. Only 41%. And there's nearly 20, a little more than a quarter of the kids absolutely no, they don't hang up my work. Is it because the work isn't done well? Is it that they're not doing their work? I wonder why that is. So what jumps out at you with the fun and excitement data? 61% of the kids say that they have fun at school. School is boring. Well, that's encouraging. Only 3% think that school is boring. Sometimes it is. At 43%, sometimes they think it is. And I wonder when that is. What are the times when they're bored at school? Or what are the times that they're really excited to be at school? And only 64% like going to school. How can we change that? So now what? Based on the analysis of your data, what questions do you need to ask, or do you think you need to ask both teachers and students to better understand this? And from that, what new ideas will you have for helping to improve the learning environment at West Somerville? Even just looking at this data, think of some ideas. There are plenty of you now. Put your minds together and think of some ideas for helping or improving the learning environment at West Somerville. So now take this moment to list and share your ideas, and then discuss and plan how to turn your ideas into action. Because you've heard this expression before, actions speak louder than words. Well, that's true, especially in this case. So as a team, you need to think about who you need to talk to make these things happen. And remember, as a team, you are the voice of all of the other students in that school. So it's fairly important that you take the time to talk to your spheres of influence, I call them. Because if you think of you right now, let's say there are 10 of you in the room watching this. Well, you 10 are not all the only friends that you have, right? My guess is you have 5 or 10, maybe even more friends outside of this group now. So let's do some quick math. 5 times 10 is 50. 10 times 10 is 100. So you have the ability to influence or hear from 50 to 100 other people collectively as a group. So that's pretty powerful. If you think about it, and you have this ability to affect change on a larger scale. Remember, this is a process, not an event. This is an ongoing work in progress. You'll continually look at the survey, look at the results, and ask your peers what more can be done to improve the learning environment at West Somerville. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of the year, and we'll see you soon.